Shalom, coming in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and to the hopeful elect pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. This lesson is going to be titled Turning Against Babylon. It's going to be a quick one, but an important one nonetheless. And you can already, if you're paying attention to the news or have been paying attention to the news, you can see what's going on with other nations. Breaking from like EU, the Brexit, Iran, China, Turkey, Russia, Israel, U.S., or Babylon. You can see what's going on. So the people that are not paying attention, I don't know what you're focusing on. Maybe you're focusing on this going back to normal, so-called normal, right? Okay, Revelation 17, and we're going to start at 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and the whore is Babylon, which is America, right? And the 10 horns are the 10 kingdoms, right? And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And they're going to make her desolate and naked, and eat her flesh through those ICBM missiles, because they're going to turn on her and shoot those ICBM missiles on her and destroy her, right? So if you're paying attention to the news and you see what's happening on a global scale, you can see the nations are starting to turn on America, right? For Yahweh have put in their hearts, which is their minds, to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. So on top of it, America has crossed almost every country on this planet. Almost, not all of them, because they do have allies, but I mean, even the allies that they have, the only allies with them because they can reap benefits from their, what's the word I'm looking for? Their partnership. But at the end of the day, they don't like them. They're just with them because they make the money. If it boiled down to it, would they turn on America? Most definitely. Why not take them out and then they go into power, right? Because everyone's trying to take them out. It's just like when you're at the top, everyone's trying to take you out, right? Because to get to that top in this kingdom, you had to cross people. That's the only way. To get to that level, you have to cross people. Stab people in the back, right? Yeah, so Yahweh's will is to destroy them. So he's gonna put a spirit on these nations, and it's already happening. But eventually it will happen where they all turn on America, Babylon, and then they're going to shoot their missiles on it and burn her up with ICBM missiles, right? So that's that. And there's a lot of scriptures you can go into to precept that. But, I mean, if I did that, this video would be very long. Jeremiah 50 and 41, behold, the people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coasts of the earth, right? Yeah, so many nations are going to come to destroy America. Slovakia. One are the Russians and the Persians, which are the Iranians, right? Which are the Medes and the Persians in the scriptures. Right? We have also, really it's going to be everybody. I shouldn't really be listening to it. It's going to be everybody. Everyone's going to come and turn against America. So it's going to be a world war. Now, America does have allies. Israel's an ally of America, right? So anything that happens, if you notice anything that happens with Israel, America's always there to back up Israel, right? America's always there. And Israel has problems with Iran, which is partnered with, and Iran's partnered with Russia, which is also partnered with China. If you notice, China's trying to trying to be the next power, even though that's not going to happen. They're trying to be like America, right? And China doesn't like America. Yeah, like I said, they're just friends with them, so-called friends or partners, because they can benefit something. But when they find that, when it gets to the point where like they don't need them anymore, they're gonna try and get rid of them. America has been trying to put sanctions on China all last year. If but people weren't really paying attention because they're focusing on the so-called pandemic. Ezekiel 16:37. Behold, therefore I will gather all thy lovers with whom thou hast taken pleasure, and all them that thou hast loved, with all them that thou hast hated. I will even gather them round about against thee, and will discover thy nakedness unto them, which is happening right now. Everyone's seen the nakedness of America, Babylon, that they may see all thy nakedness. Yeah, everyone's seen it. Look at the country. It's pathetic. It's just a shit show. That's, it's like a circus, right? So the people that loved America and people that hated them, they're all gonna come against America, right? So it's not just gonna be the people that are against America that hate them. It's gonna also be people that love them. So nations that love America, they're all gonna come against them. So America's gonna be finished, right? So their allies will turn on them at the end of the day. So yes, Israel is an ally, but the scripture just cuts that up because it means eventually they're going to turn on them. Right? Because it's going to be a world war. It's going to be a world war. And I will judge thee as women that break wedlock and shed blood are judged. Right? And I will give thee blood in fury and jealousy. And I will also give thee into their hand, and they shall throw down thine eminent place, and shall break down thy high places. They shall strip thee also of thy clothes, and shall take thy fair jewels, and leave thee naked and bare. Right? So they're going to make them naked, make them desolate. They shall also bring up a company against thee, and they shall stone thee with stones, and thrust thee through with their swords. Yeah, so missiles. Right? It's going to be a world war. It's going to be something you've never seen before. Right? Something you've never seen before. And they shall burn thy houses with fire. Yeah, high-speed missiles. And execute judges upon thee in the sight of many women. And I will cause thee to cease from playing the harlot, and thou also shalt give no hire anymore. Yeah, so there's going to be no more business going in America, right? They won't be able to hire anybody because business is going to be done. The grinding will cease, right? And I can keep reading, but actually, let's keep reading. So I will make my fury toward thee to rest, and my jealousy shall depart from thee, and I will be quiet, and will be no more angry, because thou hast not remembered the days of thy youth, but hast fretted me in all these things. Behold, therefore I also will recompense thy way upon thine head, saith the Lord power. And thou shalt not commit these lewdness above all thine abominations. Behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use his proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is the daughter. Thou art thy mother's daughter, that loatheth her husband and her children, and thou art thy sister of thy sisters, which loatheth their husbands and their children. Your mother was an Hittite, and your father an Amorite, and thy elder sister is Samaria, she and her daughters that dwell at the left hand. And thy younger sister that dwelleth at thy right hand is Sodom and her daughters. Yes, hast thou not walked after their ways, nor done after their abominations, but as if that were a very little thing, thou was corrupted more than they in all thy ways. Right? So this is also talking about Israel. Right? Because Israel just Like Israel, the 2/3, they followed after those nations, right? And they became worse than them, right? They became worse. They became worse, right? So this is going into Israel. But what I read earlier is also it's also about America too. Okay, but it's about Israel too, because what happened to Israel is going to happen to America, right? Babylon, they're going to be made naked. You know, everyone's going to see their nakedness. It's the same thing that happened to Israel at one point. That's it on that. The point has been made, right? So like, just gotta pay attention to news. If you notice, like, Turkey, the countries in the Middle East, there's like some scandal going on about some Iranian nuclear physicist, I believe, that was killed, or nuclear scientist that was killed, and they said it was by Israeli weapons. Yeah, right. So, this lesson was short, but it was just to kind of like, shine some light on the fact that, we're almost out of here. The nations are going to turn on America, and it's going to be a world war that you've never seen before, right? So I'll leave you with one more thing. Actually, stability. There we go. Jeez. Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Right? So, fearing the Most High will, through the power of the Rakah Kadash, the Most High will bestow in you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? Because during those times when everything is going crazy, there's sedition in the streets, sedition amongst men, people break into other people's houses. It's going to be the so-called blacks versus the so-called whites, Israel versus Jake. Then on a world scale, you're going to have countries fighting against each other, right? It's going to be total chaos. When this is happening, the elect are going to be stable in their minds. They're going to be balanced. They're going to be like, oh, all right. Right? So they're gonna stand out. They're going to stand out. Because everyone's going to be freaking out. But the elect are like, oh, whatever. Because they already knows that. But the elect are already at the end. They're just waiting for the reality to get there, right? Because everything's already been prophesied in the scriptures, so they're just waiting. But yeah, that's it on that. I don't want to keep going, keep talking, but I hope this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect, and we're almost out of here. I'd like to close out by saying Ka Halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and to the hopeful elect pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. Death and destruction to his wicked kingdom, and 2/3 as well. Kwam Yasharallah, Abad Babal, Shalom.